All right, y'all. What's going on, man? Been kind of busy the past few days, but I said, let me go ahead and jump on here and do this post fight here. Now, I'm just doing this post fight analysis or discussion for both fights because they weren't really like major fights. Neither one of these were really like big fights I was looking forward to, but they turned out to be all right. They definitely turned out to be okay. So, yeah, man. Hold on, we'll get started here in a minute. Because I'm gonna just run in and do this real quick because I got some stuff to do. So yeah, let's get this thing going. I got a couple other videos I'm gonna drop too as well. I've been recording some stuff. I just been busy. Uh, Man, it was a lot of good fights this weekend though. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Like I said, I just want to record this one live and do both of them at the same time and get it in. Get it in. So yeah, welcome back, y'all. Let's do this post-fight analysis. First up, Gloria DePaula taking on Deonna Belbita. This fight here was like up in the air for me. I knew both fighters were going to go in there, and commit to stand up. It was going to come down to whoever wanted to close distance and just go in there and try to, throw off the other's game and make that adjustment. And honestly, this fight to me was a little bit closer. This one turned out to be kind of close because there was just a lot of back and forth here. Neither fighter really was like trying to counter Deonna Belbita or Gloria DePaula, neither one was really like trying to counter punch or anything. They were just in there really throwing bangers, man. Like throwing bangers, but at the same time, not a lot of heat on their shots. A lot of shots hitting the gloves. Deonna Belbita, I thought she had it. Like first round, I thought she was throwing the better body shots. You go back and look at the first round, she was exchanging. They both were exchanging a lot of shots, but Belbita was landing a lot of good body punches and hitting DePaula with a lot of right hands. And that's something I'm looking at with Gloria DePaula early on. Like her defense is kind of spotty. Like she'll throw her hands up to block a shot, but you can throw a right hand right around her guard. She backs straight up. So she getting hit with big right hands by Belbita. Now DePaula, she throwing that jab. She popping that jab off and trying to hit some leg kicks, but it's like give and take. DePaula was getting hit with a lot of leg kicks too. Belbita was hitting her to the legs. They would clinch up in the tie clinch and just kind of go tit for tat. So I couldn't really see like a clear winner, throughout this fight because they were just like going back and forth. I gave the first round to Belbita because she did land more. I like her body attack and she was cracking DePaula. But same thing happened in the second round. DePaula landed more, I think, early on, but she was still getting hit a lot. Belbita was cracking her with them right hands and still working the body. Now, if anything, I think it was mostly those knees in the clinch that got it for DePaula and, going down, going in and trying to smother the attack. So DePaula, she kind of got the edge, but I was looking at the little comments at the bottom, like a Twitter, them little Twitter comments, and people were saying it was like 2018 for DePaula, or DePaula was like washing her. And I was like, I don't know if somebody said like she was just washing her, like clearly beating her, but that fight was close, man. That fight was close to me. DePaula was not winning like that easy. DePaula was not winning that easy. You could have, like I said, you could have gave the first two rounds to Belbita because Belbita was, hitting her with clean right hands. Like DePaula just kept throwing his guard up, and she's still getting hit with big shots. She's still getting hit with some shots. So I was like, man, this is a close fight. They were trying to make it sound like DePaula was winning easy, but she wasn't. She made the adjustment in the last round. She started landing more in the first 2 minutes, and she did get a takedown, but still the takedown didn't amount to anything. DePaula went back in there, started clinching up, landed more knees in the exchange. I just think DePaula edged the last round out, and that's how she won the fight because she got an early start. She got an early start, landed a few more shots, but I'd say, yeah, 2-1 for DePaula, but it could have been 2-1 for Belbita as well. You could have gave Belbita first two rounds because she committed more to the more effective strikes to me. DePaula, she had a good jab, but she was still getting hit a lot. So it was just a good fight on the level they're on. But for somebody, they've been building up off the Contender Series for Gloria DePaula, I think she's got a lot of work to do. You know, she can go in there and strike, and she can go on the offense, but man, her defense is something that has to be worked on. You know, got to work on that defense. I mean, you know, Belbita was never really like considered like a dangerous fighter, but somebody they were hyping up in Glory DePaula, you know, coming off that two fight losing streak. I mean, you want to see her go in there and knock somebody out of the caliber of Belbita, right? So the fight was okay. You know, it was okay on that level, but I still don't see the one like getting on that even on a Lemos level as of right now. I mean, like imagine Lemos versus DePaula. Imagine how that would go. Or shoot, I think Yan Xiaonan, you know, would give somebody trouble like trouble to a fighter like Glory DePaula right now. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Um, I'm just kind of looking at this ranking. You know, these unranked fighters right here. It's really tough to say like who's going to be the next blood to take over in the strawweight division. I mean, like the strawweight division got good top 15, but as these older strawweights retire, I could see the division as far as like as far as skill wise. I could see it kind of going down in the next couple of years, just because you got a lot of fighters that aren't as developed as the ones that are there right now, right? Which makes sense. You know, it does kind of make sense because you got a lot of fighters that have to find themselves. But it could come down to premature signing, right? You know, you sign a fighter too early, like with Tabitha Ricci, you know, we'll see where she goes, or Vanessa Demopoulos, you know. They were good on a lower level, but can we see them ever reaching like a top level? You know, because you go back to like the early days when Carla Esparza was first signed, you know, she already had a good number of fights. You know, she already, you know, held a belt and had defeated some of the Invicta fighters she was facing. But some of these early fighters that are coming up, you know, sometimes I think they just kind of rush them into them spots. You know, they're still like early 20s too. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it goes from here for the Glory DePaula. I mean, she snapped the fight losing streak. I think she still need to get in a few more fights before we see her in the top 15, anywhere near that, you know. But what else? Okay, yeah. Almost forgot about it. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'll talk about it last. I meant to put this on the video too. Bellator, what's her name? Deonna Bennett and Justine Keisha last night. You know, I was out last night. I was busy, you know, and I missed this fight. I had to go back and watch it today, man. I was like, oh man, I forgot this fight was today, man. Like, what's Bellator doing trying to put a card on Saturday? They supposed to be on Fridays, you know? So hold on, let me pull that fight up because I want to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, I was going to do another video for it, but let me go ahead and jump on that one here. Hang on here. We all talking in the comments. Let me see. TJ said DePaula has been a disappointment since her first fight. TJ said Belbita is no better than Mallory Martin. Marcus said, yeah, both ladies are not top 15. Marcus, I can see Emily Whitmire and Miranda Granger on both of these fighters. Let me see. When is she even like? Emily Whitmire is supposed to be an Invicta, right? I know she had to pull out of a fight again, but anyways, yeah. Let me talk about this fight last. But Stephanie Edgar, man, Stephanie Edgar. Shout out to Stephanie Edgar, first fighter to stop Jessica Rose Clark. First off, man, my thoughts on this fight. Jessica Rose Clark, you know, she been in the game for a minute, and it's really hard for me to say I've seen a lot of improvements in her game. You know, I've always kind of been like a fan on the level she was on, like early on, like 5-6 years ago, maybe like 3 or 4, 5 years ago, something like that. And I was a fan on that level that, you know, I thought she was developing and getting better. But honestly, I could still kind of see the same skill level in Jessica Rose Clark. Yeah, she changes some things up, but it's not really improving. Like, again, you can change, but is it improving? There's a difference between just changing and improving. And I mean, if you're not really making improvements, then I can't really say you're getting to a better level. And I think that Jessica Rose Clark still kind of shows the same level, even whenever she tried to go down to flyweight, you know. The toughness was always there, but that's only going to take you so far. Eventually somebody going to stop you. Look at Sarge Eubank, right? If you don't evolve or build off of your strengths or, fix your weaknesses, I mean, eventually somebody's going to figure you out. And the thing is, like, Stephanie Edgar didn't really have to even try to figure her out. That's the sad part, because that shows you Jessica Rose Clark's IQ right there, right? Stephanie Edgar didn't even really have to make adjustments. She gave it to her. I mean, right from the jump, what happened in the first round? Jessica Rose Clark looked like she wanted to box. Thought she was in the stance to box, but no, she go right in to clinch up. And I'm like, why you want to clinch up with a judoka like this? Why are you trying to give her to fight like this, right? So right away, she clinches up, tries to wrestle here. Edgar, she just got good control with her back to the fence, just kind of staying calm, letting Jessica Rose Clark kind of lead here. And then she just reverses Clark to the fence. Edgar gets a trip and a takedown, but it goes right back up. That just shows you right there, she was able to get these trips, and she was just kind of working her way towards that. So they get back up. Jessica Rose Clark still trying to stay in close. I don't know why. Like, she should have been trying to either work, but she was wrestling here. Like, she wasn't even trying to, like, land knees or, like, beat up Stephanie Edgar. Edgar was the one, like, landing little shots on the inside here. Jessica Rose Clark, I always know her as more like a striker or a brawler. And this would have been her best bet. But what does she do? She chooses to stay in close, and she pays for it. Edgar gets that judo toss. I mean, she tripped her, slammed her. And right there, I knew it was over, because she had that choke on her. She got that lock on her head, and, like, Jessica Rose Clark was just flat on her back, eating them shots. Didn't look like she was prepared for that. Wasn't even able to defend it. So real quick, Edgar transitions to one arm bar. Jessica Rose Clark slips out of that, and she still got a lock on that arm. Transitions again. Boom, gets that arm in, finishes, man. And that's it. And I was just like, as soon as I saw her get that judo toss and that position she was in, and she got locked up, I was like, oh, she's in trouble, because her whole demeanor wasn't even like to scramble or try to, get the early transition or try to get the reversal. Excuse me. Rose Clark looked lost there, because Stephanie Edgar just locked it in easy, So yeah, man. That was just bad execution on her part, man. And like I said, that just kind of showed you her IQ, Marcus Bell said bad move by Jessica Rose Clark trying to grapple with a judoka. Yeah, I don't get that, man. That was just a bad move on her team. Like, their whole game plan should have been to jab and move, or use your kickboxing. Don't go in there with the judoka. That's why I go back and look at fighters like Andrea Lee. Her judo is kind of underrated, but if you walk into her, she's going to start tossing you around. She could toss you around with ease. That's their game. Like, judo, one thing I noticed about it throughout mixed martial arts is it's kind of risky to use at times. Some people say it's kind of risky, but if somebody gives it to you, a judoka is going to take it. You know what I mean? They will take it. Because if you give them that momentum and you coming in with that uneducated pressure, boom, you're going flying through the air, and your legs up in the air, and boom, you're on your back, right? Easy trips or momentum to toss you. So in some modes, it's a discipline that can't get you far unless you know how to utilize it. But if somebody gives it to you, some of these judokas, they'll just take full advantage, So I just been looking at some of these judo tournaments and seeing how they implement it into MMA. And I'm like, yeah, it's not something that can get you far, but especially I'm comparing it to like fighters that are well-rounded. I mean, Ronda, she got far with it because, so many fighters just were so intimidated at a point. But whenever you become a well-rounded fighter, you're dealing with one, you can shut it down. But Jessica Rose Clark, she treated this like this was 20, what year? Like 2014, 2013. Like she was in there with Ronda Rousey or something. But yeah, Stephanie Edgar, I got to give her some credit here. This is her second fight in the UFC that she's won, right? Let me go ahead and check the resume here real quick. She could very well be a potential threat on the come up here. Now, it's still a little early to tell because, we're looking at competition, but if you can get a win over a veteran like this, it's definitely going to put eyes on you. Definitely going to put some eyes on you. Hold on. Let's see. Stephanie Edgar. Let me know if you can catch it first. Let's see. Is she on a 2-fight win streak? Because who all did she beat? Let's see. Let me see this resume. Shanna Young. Yeah, she's finished Shanna Young. And now she finished Jessica Rose Clark. So she's 2-1 in the UFC with 1 loss to Tracy Cortez. See, Tracy Cortez been beating some girls, but she kind of on the, I don't know if she's on the downside or she just chilling. I mean, we know what she's doing. But Tracy Cortez been getting some wins over these other prospects. But yeah, okay, she's 2-1 right now, 2 fights. She's won Shanna Young, Jessica Rose Clark. So her competition has been stepping up a notch. Next, I would like to see Stephanie Egger in there with somebody like, let's see what she could do with somebody like Avila, Julia Avila, or even like Carol Rosa. You know? Because let's see how old she is. Stephanie Egger's 33, man. So I would want to kind of push her faster, actually. Just because you don't know how many years these fighters have on them. You know, so, I ain't gonna lie, the older they are, you kind of want to see how fast they can get to where they need to be. Would she ever win the title? I don't know about that, but I mean, she could possibly get into the top 5 and kind of go from there. I would like to see, sometimes when the age is, I do look at the age, just depend on how fast I would push a fighter because, they want to get that chance before they hit 40. So yeah, let's be real. Like, see somebody like Casey O'Neill in the flyweight division, 24 years old, ain't no need to push her because she ain't ready. But if somebody's like 33 coming into the UFC, maybe they could be pushed a little bit faster to get to that title shot. In some cases, depending on how good, they're looking and how dominant they're being. But still a little early to tell before you say she's like, oh, she's this big, see this big thing, like, oh, she's ready. Like I said, let's get a couple more wins on her belt and then kind of go from there. Right. But Jessica Rose Clark, I know she had been pondering retirement before. She did an interview. She said she had thought about retiring a while back. I don't know, man. She might be thinking about it again. Right. So we'll see. All right. So last fight. I'll post another picture up here just in case y'all wanted to know what was going on if y'all don't see this on the title here. But Deonna Bennett and Justine Keisha coming in, making her Bellator debut, dropped the unanimous decision to Deonna Bennett. Like I said, this fight almost went under the radar. I mean, I heard about it, but I just forgot about the date. But Deonna Bennett, man, first of all, I got to say, look, Deonna Bennett, she one of the most sneaky, she one of them sneaky fighters right now, man. Like, a lot of people, we kind of counter out in certain situations, but Deonna Bennett is like quietly improving. She's silently working on her game. Deonna Bennett is starting to, find this new flame and improve as a fighter. Like, maybe, okay, it's not like the UFC level, but I mean, what she's doing right now could definitely get her a title shot in Bellator. Let's be real. Deonna Bennett right now is number 7. I know she just beat an unranked fighter in Justine Keisha. Good, stay busy fight for her, but she got in the work she needed. Early on, it was looking like it was going to be Justine Keisha's style of fighting, with the striking, but Deonna Bennett, her strike is decent. She came in with that wrestler's approach and just kept taking these rounds with these takedowns and good ground and pound, But what happened in the first round? Yeah, Justine Keisha, she wasn't looking like the same Justine Keisha. I mean, I don't know if y'all watched the fight, but Justine Keisha was looking a little slower here and less ripped. I know y'all seen like Justine Keisha when she came in in the Mazo fight. That was like a ripped, much more. I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering there. She was very ripped and very, very hyped. Like very, very active in those fights, in and out, bouncing, and just really muscular. But when she came into this fight against Deonna Bennett, wasn't looking as ripped. Looked a little bit slower. Now, she was moving angles, popping her jab off, but Deonna Bennett was just really doing a good job of like countering with her own left hook, putting the pressure on, and just really pushing Justine Keisha to make her work hard. And I'd say the first round, Justine Keisha had her moments, but then Deonna Bennett just kept coming back with the pressure, landing better shots. Second and third round, kind of the same deal. Deonna Bennett would kind of fall behind on a few strikes, but then she would go in, take the fight down to the ground, keep Justine Keisha on her back, and just outland her. Most of her strikes came from on the ground, just really, just teeing off on Justine Keisha in the second round, and then ending it the same way in the third round. Like, I could see the gas kind of leaving Justine Keisha, that she was just fading. So Deonna Bennett just went in there and didn't close the show, but just outworked her again. So it was like a 30-27 fight for Deonna Bennett. And that's the work that she needs. Let me see. I hope Tracy Cortez come back soon. I don't know when she coming back. Because he don't look like. Is it an injury or is it just because she hanging out with him or Ortega? Like, I don't know. Robot Chicken said Tracy Cortez seems overrated. Yeah, her momentum is. Let's just say her momentum is going down. Her momentum is definitely going down. But yeah, Deonna Bennett. Let's see where she goes from here. She's number 7 in her division in the Bellator organization. I know Kate Jackson has a fight coming up. Maybe she could fight the winner of that fight. Kana Watanabe has a fight. Let's take a look at these Bellator rankings. I mean, they don't fight enough over there in Bellator, I tell you that, man. Let's see. Bellator flyweight rankings. Hang on. Why is Alimale McFarland on Tapology still number 1? Have they not updated these rankings? Why is Alimale McFarland still number 1 on Tapology? And Juliana Velasquez is number 2. BD Arteaga is number 3. Maybe somebody ain't updating these rankings. I don't know, man. Maybe that's an old post. No, it don't look like an old post. Hang on. Let's see. Where's Bellator's flyweight rankings at? Yeah, don't go by the one on Tapology there because they got Alimale still number 1. Let's see. Dang, where are these rankings at? Hang on. I'm about to wrap this thing up here in a minute. I just want to come on and do a post-fight talk for these couple fights. Let's see, yeah. So, yeah, but Deonna Bennett at number 7, she might move up. Maybe she could fight Arteaga next because I think, Denise Kielholtz is taking on Watanabe. And more than likely, Liz Carmouche might get her title shot. So, yeah, Deonna Bennett could fight her way up from here. But, yeah, I just need to see more from these Bellator fighters, man. They just don't have enough activity for these women. Not a lot of fights are being made. They just kind of do once a year. I mean, this is the most I've seen from Deonna Bennett in a minute. She had a fight against Laura, and that was it, I mean, she had to fight against Laura now this fight, but most fighters, that's it for them. So we'll see, man. But, yeah, let me get up out of here, y'all. Like I said, I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll do a live stream tomorrow, of course. But I just wanted to talk about these fights here real quick. Like I said, nothing major. That's why I said, let me just drop all this at once and talk about these fights and what went on. For Glory DePaula, we'll see where she goes. She just has needs to make more improvement on her defense from here. Stephanie Edgar, I do want to see her fight up, see where she goes from here. She's been finishing a lot of her opponents. So we'll see. But, yeah, Bellator just needs to keep up this activity for the women, man. But, yeah, shout out to the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the like button on your way out. Like always, Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.